Howdy travelers, we have something very special for you today. Check out this TrackVan by Millennium Caravans. We're going to do a full detailed review starting from the front all the way around, showing you all the bits and pieces that you want to see, everything you need to know if you're going to make a buying decision. So let's start right at the beginning. The D035 hitch. There's a pin that goes on the back of your car that slots into there. That latch clicks across. It fully rotates this way and this way. So it is great for off-road action. Pretty standard handbrake here, nothing to get excited about. Most caravans that we've been looking at have this built-in automatic braking system. So if the caravan detaches from your vehicle because you didn't do your hitch up or your chains or who knows what you did, this pulls this emergency trigger, the brakes come on and saves your trailer. But one interesting thing we noticed is the size of this little latch here. It actually is large enough to go on the D shackles that most people use to connect their chains, where some of the caravans have this tiny little one, you can barely connect it. So a big plus there. Just the simple things sometimes make a difference. Pretty standard jockey wheel. We did notice, if you bring the camera around this way, you might get a better shot. A slightly different design. This is like a hinge clamp, but the actual bolt that tightens it up is on its own pin here. So it moves out of the way and allows the hinge to open up. Where other designs we've seen, you have to pull this part all the way out to get it. And obviously, if you're pulling it out, you can lose bits and pieces. We have a stone guard here. One thing we've also noticed, this handy little cutout. See my knuckles here? Sometimes when you're winding these things up, if it's too close to a stone guard, you keep bashing your fingers on this. Here they've thought about that. There's an opening there so you can actually wind up and down, no problems. Pretty massive stone, mud guards, whatever you want to call them. It's good to see that included on there.
I know some people refer to them as mud flaps.
Mud flaps, stone guards, mud flaps, mud guards, whatever you want to call it.
Flappy, goddy, waddy.
Put it in the comment below. What do you like to call these things? Just behind the stone guard here, you've got two gas holders. These are 9-kilo gas bottles. They're secured by a fairly standard setup. It actually has this rubber protective material around it, which is a little bit different than you'll see on some. So there's a big thumbs up there. And the actual locking mechanism actually looks like it's a bit more robust than some I've seen as well. So that's good to see. That's a galvanized steel mechanism there. You can lock it as well. This is all fairly standard stuff, but another little finesse here, just a little protector. And I'm thinking maybe because this is an opening here where rocks can fly, they've just put a little protective plate over the gas regulator there just to keep all that safe and sound. Everything's all pretty standard there. We've got a large toolbox. This is made from an aluminium, what do you call this, checker plate?
Aluminium checker plate, I guess.
Sounds good.
What you refer to them as.
Yeah, drop the comments below. Let us know what you like us to refer this to. This is a lockable box. So jerry can holders. This is welded onto the door here. Now, let's just open it up and have a look inside. It comes standard with a slide out.
How cool is that? Drawer.
So you could put maybe a toolbox or a small esky or some firewood, or I don't know what you want to put on there.
What is cool though is we experienced torrential rain from picking up this van, and it seems fairly dry in here. There's minimal
it's got
liquid in there.
A rubber seal all the way around this door here, and there's no hatch on top. So in theory, that should be very well sealed up there. I would say though, you probably don't want to have a lot of weight on that door opening a lot. I'm not sure exactly how strong these hinges are and what they're rated to, but if you put a 40-litre jerry can in here, that's 40 kilograms. So just bear that in mind. It might bend your hinge. Okay, coming around this way, Tristan, you can see, like we mentioned before, it's on both sides. Just in here, we've got water outlet. Okay, see what's inside here. What do you reckon? Will there be a slide out drawer?
No.
Oh, got him! Okay, so there is a slide out drawer. That looks slightly longer than the other side, so that's interesting. It's not symmetrical, it's an asymmetrical setup in here. What would you put on here, you reckon? Maybe a little barbecue or a fridge or an esky?
Yeah, your jockey wheel like we've just done there, that fits in.
I'm not sure that's the most practical use of the space though.
No, probably not. You maybe, yeah, you put a gas cooker or something. I don't know how close you want to cook with those gas pans.
And see this? They've even put a little rubber
yeah, that's nice.
strip across there so that it doesn't constantly bang against that door, I suppose. That's a neat little trick there. Moving around, we have a boot. Now this is lined on the bottom here with the 4mm thick checker plate aluminium cladding. So that's going to give you a nice solid base. In case stuff's sliding around in there, that's going to be quite durable. We've got our wood in here, so we'll get that out for our fire later. Some good hardwood. Oh, throw that down there. You get a few bits and pieces. I think this is if you want to peg down your awning, so you can keep it a bit safe in those breezy days. These hatches have a seal all the way around there. Not on this side though, just on one side. And it feels like a pretty good fit, and there's no water in there, and it was pelting down rain, so that's a good sign. We have our LED driving lights and a reflector as standard on pretty much that. Maybe that's, I should look it up, maybe that's the law. We see it on every caravan. One there, and one there, and one there.
This one's got a really big LED light right there.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Look
good
at that.
point, Tristan. So there's a real decent looking LED bar up there. So
Yeah, it's got a red light.
I wonder, do you reckon there's a switch inside?
Yeah, there must
Let
be.
me go and have a look.
There we go.
Sweet. Okay, so moving around, do not trip over the firewood, Tristan.
Thank you, good sir.
So one of our windows here that looks into the main bedroom. It's not the biggest window I've ever seen on a caravan. It's not the smallest either. Let's call it medium-sized window, and it's basically the same sort of design that we're seeing everywhere.
It might be annoying to have that window open though, and then you want to open the door.
Well,
We'll obstruct it.
my thought is that it probably cannot be used if you want to open that door. So maybe that's just something you're going to have to deal with. If you want your door open, you can't actually have that window open. So that's a built-in latch that just clips into the door there, stops it rattling around.
And how interesting is it that this door handle lifts up and it's not a twist?
Yeah, we have seen a few different designs in our travels. I'm not sure if this is better or worse or what, but it looks like a fairly robust system here. There is a, oh, see that? Right, so that's a lock mechanism of some description.
To stop you from being able to open the fly screen door and just your...
And I actually don't know how to open the fly
I got
screen.
it working earlier. So you got to make sure it's unlocked here, which is that. And then if you do that and then pull it apart, yeah.
I think he locked it.
Oh yeah?
And then there's that. Oh no, maybe he did. That's locked. That's unlocked, yeah.
I think you got to do that, yeah? Then leave that.
Ah, yeah, there we go. Okay, a little bit complicated, but we worked it out in the end. There's a lot of moving parts here. There's a little thing here, there's a lock, and there's another handle here.
We could just
So,
be doing it wrong.
so that's the first time we've ever used this door. So that gives you a good idea of what it would be for yourself if this was your van. Looking at the hinges here, they actually look pretty tough. I think,
Very neat.
yeah, I think hinges and stuff like this that gets a lot of movement, they're the weak points in most caravans. So you do want to keep your eye out for that stuff and make sure everything looks strong and robust. This is like a, I don't know what you call it, like a security mesh. It's not like the standard fly screen that you could stick a finger through, or, you know, a dog could scratch through it. This is like pretty heavy duty stuff there. And it's quite a decent sized screen as well. So I'm happy with the door. A little bit tricky to use, but to the untrained eye, you might think this is just a step. Well, it's not, it's 2 steps. Some of these caravans we're seeing only have a single step. This guy, boom, boom, 1, 2. You need that when you're off the ground on one of these beasts. Look, you could sleep under there, Tristan. You could
Yeah, I
just,
can fit under there.
you could roll under there, no worries. It's high off the ground. You need those steps. So very good to see. Also a little bump stop there for the door so it doesn't smash up and break that. Moving on. You've all seen this snazzy number. How snazzy is it? You be the judge. It's got bubbly sort of things going on in it. It lights up blue. It actually is somewhat useful at night to just illuminate the general area. So it's practical, sort of looks cool. I don't know. You tell us, do you like it or not? Speakers, we haven't used the speakers yet, so I'm not going to comment on that. Maybe tomorrow I'll drop a little comment on that. Moving around, we've got another panoramic style window. This is above the kitchen there. Always not nice to have a window near the kitchen. Above that we have an exterior LED bar. This will light up this area tonight. I'm pretty confident with that. Okay, now there are a lot of different mechanisms we're seeing with these fold down tables. I like this one more than others.
This is my personal
Yeah,
favorite too.
it's a spring
Nice.
system. There's
Yeah.
little grippy bits in there, and you just do that, and it just comes down. And you,
It's so nice not having the knob here. It just
Yeah.
blocks out your table. So now you've
Yeah.
got plenty of space with that.
happy with that. I mean, you're not going to put a lot of weight on here, but
This has got the LED light as
oh,
well.
it does. It's that one. Right, see that? That's cool. So we've got a mount here for an arm mount for television. That's what this is, if you're wondering. And looks
Level.
like we're slightly off level, but that could just be,
Off center.
yeah, maybe that's a problem with that thing. Who knows? This is an antenna, 12 volt and 10 amp mains power. That will only work if you connect it to the mains. This does have lithium ion batteries and quite a substantial solar panel array on the roof. You would have seen that in the drone shot from before. That's a big thumbs up. Always want lithium, always want solar power. So you can go to places like this and just camp off grid. You don't want to have to plug in always. Okay, let's just go down a little bit lower here. Look at these tires.
They look mean.
What do you reckon about them? I like them. They've got a
Nice tread,
lot of
yeah.
tread in there. They are a nice looking tire. So obviously we've got dual axles here. I mean, technically, is it an axle? These are independent suspensions. So there's not an axle that runs from one wheel to the other. It's on an independent arm, 4 independent arms with suspension, shockies, and obviously a tiny little axle for the wheel to go on. But it is an off-road caravan, folks. It can go places that your vehicle can go, so don't be scared. And it looks like it's got good rubber to meet. What have we got next here? We have another LED light, another one there. These light up when you're driving, okay? So it just gives a little bit of additional illumination for a moving vehicle. We've got really thin panoramic style windows, 2 of them. The inside of this caravan is going to blow your mind. Wait until you check in there.
Perfect for ventilation though.
Another speaker here. Once again, don't know if it's any good. That one looks like someone's jammed their finger in there. It's a bit damaged, so we'll see if it works. Watch your head, folks.
Very nice looking decals though. It looks very neat.
Extreme. So this is the TrackVan Extreme. And is it extreme? You tell us. Maybe it could be more extreme. I don't know.
Tell us about the awning before we...
Okay, so the awning. Tristan had a few troubles getting this mechanism to work. Let me show you. Come in tight here. There's this little mechanism here, and it's not 100% obvious how it works. I mean, you really do have to take the weight. This is a heavy, huge awning. If you try to release that mechanism without taking the weight off, it's not going to do anything. You're just going to smash your thumb. I'm not 100% sure these have been fully evolved. Maybe there are better ways to do things. I don't know, but otherwise it seems quite sturdy. We got it up. It didn't get stuck or anything. So apart from that, all good. And maybe if it rains later, I'll give you a little bit of an update on how that works. Coming around here, we've got quite a big bar on the back here. It's quite high. This whole van is really pumped up off the ground. I think it's got an extra steel tube, extra steel tube. I think they call it a riser that gets the height. Let me know what you think about that in the comments. Here we have a box. That looks like a shower to me. What do you reckon? Don't you hate when there's this many keys and all you want to do is open one hatch? Well, guess what? I don't know if this is the case with every key and lock combo. On there it says E07. And guess what? On the key it says the same thing. Let's see if it works. Ta-da!
And it's a shower.
Whoa. There we go. Oh, it works. Look at that. Tristan, you ready for your nightly bath?
I'm ready. Are you gonna do my back?
Yeah, it's gonna take a long while to bathe you with this little dribble.
I like it too.
So that's hot and cold there. Look, we're starting to see this on a lot of caravans. I think it's a great idea. Do you need it to have a key and a lock though? Not sure about that. Let us know in the comments. Should it just be like a door? Maybe just like a little spring-loaded clamp? Like, who's really gonna steal your water out of your shower? Maybe someone would, who knows? We live in a crazy world. So, we've got a rear bar. Now, this is an accessory rack, a rear bar, whatever you wanna call it. It does a few things. If you're reversing your caravan and there's a fence, it can help stop the damage from hitting these panels. You run into this first. You can also put things like bike racks and stuff on there. Is it the most durable rear bar in the world? It looks all right. It's actually got 3 points of attachment under here. Yeah, I think it looks reasonably fit for purpose. So thumbs up there. We should mention this. These are on every corner of the caravan. They drop down, they adjust, and it's just to make sure the caravan doesn't rock around when you're coming in and out. So it's a stabilizer bar, or I don't know, what do you want to call it? Call it whatever you want. Spare tire. These are pretty cool looking brake lights and blinker lights. Really long and slender. I like that look. Okay, moving around. Haha, look at that. They've actually mounted that driving light on the door. Let's see what's on the other side. Righto. So that's an interesting implementation. There's a conduit around the wires there so it doesn't get jammed up. Just a cheeky little storage space, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you could put some firewood in there. Maybe some of your ramps and whatnot in there. What have we got here?
Dunny.
Ah, Tristan's favorite thing.
Sitting on the shitter.
So that looks pretty standard, ladies and gents. Nothing really exciting about this thing. Basically all it does, that opens up, your business goes in there. When it's full, you pull it out and you dump out of that end there. And then you put it back in. Simple as that. And it has a lockable key as well. Up the top there, we've got a window. We've got 2 of these matching as the other side, these really long, narrow windows. Another driving light. They're pretty thick mud flaps. So, yeah, happy with that. Oh, we missed this just down here. I'll crawl under here later and we'll talk about this, but there's your grey water tank. So when you have a shower, use the sink, you can collect the water in here so it doesn't just flow out onto the ground. And then when you're at a suitable place where you can dump that responsibly, you just open it up and all your grey water comes out and you can water the grass with that if you're allowed to. This is the back of the fridge here. Inside there's a fridge, and this is the vent where any of the hot air that builds up behind the fridge can come out. Here's your main power input 15 amp plug. That's a standard type of box we see on everything. There's another little exhaust vent up there for the back of the fridge. Larger panoramic window, another little vent, LED driving lights, reflector. We have 2 ports for filling water. These are lockable. And I believe they're 295 litre tanks. Is that correct, Tristan? 295 litre tanks. That's a decent amount of water. Here is the backside of the water heater, the exhaust for that. So that would probably heat up when you've got that thing pumping. So you wouldn't want to touch that. What have we got here? Just a cute little storage spot. And
Side of the tunnel boot.
And then the other side of the tunnel boot. So that's straight through from one side to the other. These are all sealed up, these doors. So shouldn't have any issues with water ingress or dust or anything like that. Nice and tight seal. And yeah, that's your last window. That's above the main bed in there. So we'll go inside and have a look right now. That's the outside of the van. Hope you liked it.
Hey travelers, what's going on? So full disclosure, I am being totally biased right now. I'm actually in love with this van. Come on, take a look. I'm gonna tell you why. All right, come on inside. So right over here now, the feedback that I've heard from people is not a lot of people like the bed to be positioned in the corner like this, where you basically get in like this. The reason why is some people, if you have a partner or you're sleeping in the bed with someone else, to get out, you would need to roll over your partner. So
should we demonstrate that just real quick?
Yeah, come on.
Want to get in bed with you, Tristan?
I know. Let's do a bit of spooning.
Okay, go to the toilet. And try not to touch me on the dick. That's okay. Okay, I don't feel too badly molested.
You did just get touched with all the private bits by a South African. So look, as long as you don't mind that, if that's not a deal breaker for you, then this is actually a really nice mattress. Come have a look at this. It's got a 2-year warranty on the mattress. I mean, that's kind of cool. Allergy free. I don't know if people do get allergies from a mattress or not. I've never heard of that. I'm uneducated about that. But what is also cool here is you got a bit of storage space here, which is quite nice. You got two, I'm guessing that's 12 volts. Charging spaces, and you got plugs here, but we are running off the battery at the moment. You would need to connect to mains for that, but you know, that is a nice little added on feature. Right here on this side of the door, we actually have a spirit level as well. So we got the one outside which shows the leveling of the van, and then we got this one so we can see the kind of horizontal positioning of the van.
Did we get a level?
We did. Look at that.
Wow.
Up here we got the connector for our aerial, and then we've got another plug light. It is a bit weird to have it on the roof, but I guess that is for the TV, so you know, it's justifiable. Here we got the window. We can't open this window now because the door's in the way, so if that's not a deal breaker for you, then that's fine, but you can close the door and then open the window up again. And then we do have our standard blocking out light with like we've seen with all the other Caravans, and then we've got our fly screen. This is a bit different. This is kind of like a folded fly screen, whereas some of them it's just a straight line. So you can kind of see the rivets of that there. I like these doors because you click it like that and then you can just leave it open. You don't need to click it again. This locks it, so it's not going to bash around while you're towing. But leaving it like that, you can just open it as you go. It doesn't need a lock.
There's a TV in there.
There is a TV in there, and there's a rail to hang up all your stuff in there. I think it's quite nice, actually. I love this. Wait until you see this. This just goes nuts for me. I'm starting to second guess my sexuality getting so excited about these drawers. But it's a slide-out drawer. Look at that. I like it.
Aren't all drawers slide out?
No, some are fold-outs. Okay. Look at that. That's a little bit of space. You can't really put too much in there, but you can put something. You can make the most of it. Now, these top cupboards here, I actually struggle to open these a little bit. Murphy's Law is I just opened that super easily now. But look at this, okay? So it's clipped, and now it just folds up. So it's actually a safe protecting layer. And then there's quite a bit of space in here. Let's open both up so you can get a good look at it. And it still goes in deeper in there. Try and get inside there. You can see the full amount. You can put all your bedding and stuff in there. It's actually really nice. So I do like that. We've got a speaker up here so you can listen to tunes while you're lying in bed. Who knows?
I've recognized that brand, Fusion.
Yeah? You familiar with it?
I've listened to that before, and they make good stuff, so we'll be the judge of that later.
Yeah, cool. Let's test it out. Then we've got some more cupboard space up here. I don't like how it's not flush. It's a bit weird for me.
Stepped down?
Yeah, it's dynamic, but I don't know if I like how dynamic it is, I guess. And then you just got some more space up there.
I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it is nice having two separate components or compartments in here, but it's just weird that it doesn't line up like that. But I guess that's because of the angling of the roof.
Yeah, it's sloping down quite a bit
Yeah,
here. So even
it does, yeah, exactly. It's different levels, so it is a
step.
bit odd, but I mean, some people, you might actually prefer that. I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you like or dislike that, because let's all be the judge of it. Then we got some more space up here. That one didn't open as nicely. This one's not locking in. So during your handover, this would be something to actually check out, you know, and just like why.
Hold up, right?
Yeah, they are supposed to. So there's just probably something up with that one. This one does that, so that one's fine. That's just one little fault in there. And then here we've got our main. So flick that switch on and off, and there we go. Bob's your uncle, hey? We got another window over here. And then it is kind of interesting how our lounge is positioned right next to the bed. So I guess you lie in the bed, and then in breaking, instead of having breakfast in bed, you just slide.
Or what about if you've had a few wines at night?
Yeah,
Dinner,
you can roll to the bed. That is nice. I think you can actually probably sleep on here if you wanted to.
Yeah, I think that's...
It's quite a bit of
for a
space.
small child that isn't 6'9" like yourself.
Yeah, I am very tall, so...
But one thing I do want to point out, if you did have, say, 4 adults, because I don't want to, like, spoil the secret here, but there's 4 bunk beds. Sorry, Tristan.
That was going to be my big secret reveal. You stole my thunder, Jason. Stop it.
4 bunk beds and 2 adults in here, so 6 people, right? You could nearly sit 6 people around here.
I don't want to film anymore. That was going to be my surprise.
How about I play this after Tristan reveals the secret bunk bed?
But how big is this table? I love it. You got so much space. You can even do your meal prep here, I reckon. You could just sit here and do the chopping and everything.
You know
That's like a bit of a luxury.
There's a button down here. What happens when I press it? I have no idea.
Are we probably going to decapitate my knees?
Nothing happens when you press that button.
You probably have to lift it up. It's a height adjustment, I reckon.
Okay.
All right, we'll figure that one out later. Let me have my moment of glory, please, and thank you. We've got a nice countertop finish over here. I do like this sink, how it's this kind of matte black looking color.
That's a nice sink.
It is a nice tap as well. We're not really getting any water. We probably need to turn it on.
I can see a button.
You can see a button. Where do you see a button?
LED light.
Yeah?
No. Look.
Oh, over here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is very nifty.
It makes it look
Didn't even notice that.
Illuminated.
And then how do we turn that off? Oh yeah, it's just like a sensor button. You don't click it or anything. That's cool. Then again, we got a nice another big window. Let's open this up, and we've got our cooking appliances. This one's actually got like a lock strap. That's different. We haven't seen that before, so you actually got to flick it up. What is interesting about this is how we've got this kind of metal painted thing on top here. So I guess this is just kind of, some of them have the metal built-in bits, but this you just place on top, and I guess it really makes it easier to clean your stove and that, because you just pull this off. Yeah. The one disadvantage is with the flame, it might chip this coating, but wear and tear happens over time.
High temperature enamel, Tristan. What do you think?
It has to be, you would think so. Let's test it out and find out.
Low level temperature enamel?
Yeah, then it's going to be interesting. Yeah, exactly. But here we do have the electric stovetop. And look at all these buttons.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, that's actually very nifty. What a wonderful oven though. Look at that. So you can chuck a shepherd's pie or something in there if you wanted to. I always mention shepherd's pie, you always mention pieces. We're on different wavelengths. But how great is this oven? Slide out like that, and it comes inclusive as a standard with your trays for your baking and whatever you're using the oven for.
Christmas dinner in here.
Yeah.
For a family of 6.
Exactly. Then we got, what do we have down there, Jason? What do you reckon that is? The
so
pump?
You've got a gas main switch there. And yeah, just your pump for your sink up here, I'd say.
Perfect. Okay, now let's open this one up. How cool, our slide-out pantry.
That's cool.
Put all your spices and everything in there. It is a little bit weird because you do have to lean over it, but I guess if you stood on the other side and then opened it, it would make a lot of sense, but it's not that hard to just put your arm over.
That
It's really...
me, like, where is the fire extinguisher, I wonder?
That is very true. We do need to find that.
Maybe it isn't a requirement. I don't know.
Maybe it's down here, actually, because we haven't looked at this space here under the bed. in these drawers. But this is cool with a little bit of extra space here under the bed for your drawers.
Big drawers.
They are, they're very spacious.
Look, it goes all the way around.
Yeah, it does. It goes under your lounge, and then you've still got your plugs there.
Oh, that's not
This one is a fold out. Yeah, I wouldn't really put anything underneath there. There's our batteries.
Lithium batteries loaded up in there.
Yeah.
Righto.
It actually makes it a lot easier to access it than it is in other vans,
And
funnily
there's some
enough.
space behind them too.
Yeah, that's
So
cool. That's a bit
you could
generous.
probably get more. And I
It is
bet
very
this
nice.
lifts up, hey? Yeah, look,
Yep,
see?
there you go.
There's a hatch to get to them.
How cool are these switches actually?
Yeah, they're
It's not
nice.
really labeled, so you don't really know what you're pressing until you kind of know your way around the van. But just to turn stuff off, just click the off button, turns
they're
all the lights
nice.
off. That is kind of cool. I like that addition.
Oh, yeah.
We got our reading
it's
light, so
blue.
there's a blue light, which is quite different. We haven't seen this before. It's my first time seeing this. What about you?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I haven't seen a blue one, I don't think.
Yeah, so these are all quite cool reading lights, I think. As usual with our hatches, it's got a full-on block out for the sun and everything here. Perfect for when you're trying to sleep in the morning. You want a bit of a sleep in and you don't want any rays to come in. This is a skylight, is the official term for it. And the LED lights of this is a 12 volt. So, and it's 6,000 K LED lights, and it uses a current of 0.6 amps.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Thank you for telling me. I always
Did not know that. And then we've got a little kind of fly screen where we can still let some of the light in. We got another hatch over here. Same thing. Boom, block out, fly screen, and our LED light. Take a look at some more of this kitchen space over here. Plenty of drawer space though. Whoa, that one did trick me. I did think that was a slide out instead of a fold out. My bad. And then under the fridge, so that is quite nice. Take a look at the freezer. It is quite a nice looking freezer. There's not too much going on in here. It's just simple, which is nice about it. And then we've got so much generous fridge space. And what's actually pretty cool is we've got this up here. So this will, if you've left something in your fridge and you're towing it, it's not going to just completely slide right out. This is just this kind of layer to protect it there.
And does it move or anything? No, it's just there.
Yeah.
Touch the knob.
Touch.
Does it do anything?
No, we're not
Is
powered
there a
up.
screen? Wait, let me flick some switches.
Do
up
it. Do it. Let's get this working. Oh, I don't think we're on. There we go. That would explain why.
Ah, now we've got light.
Cool. I don't think I opened these either.
yeah. Ah, that's where the stereo.
Got the stereo set up, our hot water system, stove, hot water for the gas, everything is in here. Let's try to turn the stereo on.
Yeah, turn that bad boy on. Okay.
There we go. Welcome. Good to be here. A bit more storage space. And a little more space in there. Put all your goodies and your bits and pieces. Microwave. It's a bit of a different looking microwave to the ones we've seen before. I like
it up there though.
I like it. It's completely out of the way. I open this up. I'm standing here. It's getting a little bit close to my face, but it's not making me move or affect my movement or anything here in any shape or form. It is nice how it's high up. I like them to be high up because you don't have to bend down all the time. And if you leave this open, I guess, and you're still standing here, you're not really going to bang your head on it unless you just happen to do one of those. But yeah, it is cool. A bit more space, and we got our plugs up here, so you can plug something else in there if you ever wanted to. Perfect. Now let's get to the really good bits. This is for the door. This is how you secure it, so make sure it doesn't roll around. If you come here on the other side, you just clip it in.
Right, so it stops it from
Bashing around and everything, yeah, exactly. Not that I'm capable of doing it right now.
It's a bit tricky to get in there.
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe if I just pulled that out of the way. There we go. Piece of cake, says the man that struggled.
Yeah, I'll cut it out, mate. I'll edit it to make it look like you did it first go.
Come on out. No, show the real thing. I did have a struggle. Okay, let's unclip the bad boy. How cool is this? So now, if you're a married couple and you want a little bit of privacy there to You call it wrestling, Jason, I believe. We did have the birds and the bees talk the other day in the car. If you want to do a little bit of wrestling or something on that side of the caravan, you can close up the kids in their whole own section.
That's a cool door.
It is cool.
It's got like a retro vibe to it.
It does, and it's so easy. And actually, the funny thing is, this is magnetized. So you do need to give it a little bit of a pull to open it, but that's a piece of cake. I'm not even using 0.1% of my true strength to open this door.
It's like a plastic lightweight material. Looks quite
durable.
It is,
and it's actually quite neat.
It looks
magazine cover. Put all your junk in here.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
I believe this is the official term for it. It's called a magazine cover / holder. But let us know in the comments what you call it or you refer to it as. Maybe you know more about caravans than we do. Probably know more about caravans than we do.
Good chance.
We actually have 4 bunk beds here. Not a big reveal because Jason stole the plot twist from me right underneath me, but
I won't play that bit until after. How about that?
Thank you, Jason. So this is actually perfect because technically speaking now, you can travel with 6 adults if you wanted to. Put 4 of them in here and there. So if you've got a big family, then perfect, you can go ahead and do your travels. Or if you just have 2 kids and you're a family of 4, but you want to bring 2 friends for the kids, whatever, bunk beds for all of them, speaker here. We've got the open hatch, LED lights, just like there. So in every section of the van, the main bed, the lounge, and here by the bunk beds, we've got an open hatch with LEDs for everyone to get a bit of ventilation. Each bunk bed has its own window, and it's almost the full length of the actual bunk bed, so you can get as much of a breeze as you can. Every bed has one of those magazine covers, so you have a bit of storage space in each bed for every kid, really, or adult. And then we've got a plug switch in every bunk bed too, so they can have their own power, charge their phones.
Quite wide,
We've not seen a bunk bed this wide yet, and the mattress is actually really thick. Get it from this angle, have a look at it. It's a pretty decent mattress.
Yeah, it's springy.
Yeah, it is. And it does have a built-in ladder. The nice thing about this ladder is it's way more wide. There's a lot more space in here for you with giant feet. No, I don't mean that, but even if you're getting in with your shoes, it's a bit easier, and just climbing in and out looks a lot easier.
Stand up there. Let's show me if it flexes on your way. Like on the next one. Yeah, on that one. Yeah, look, don't be doing any backflips off that.
Yeah.
And I think you'll be fine.
Perfect. And each one has got an LED reading light, blue light again. Seems to be the common reoccurring theme within this van. Now, have a look at this. We've got a slide-out drawer underneath each bunk bed. And it is a pretty big, that is annoying, straight up. That probably needs to be readjusted, or don't open all of them at the same time. This one opens up wider than the others, and it looks like it's smaller.
So obviously that side can't open fully if that side's open.
Exactly.
But a lot of storage, which is good if you've got 4 people in here.
It's actually more storage than you see in other caravans with bunk beds, funnily enough. But that's my personal opinion. Because normally in other caravans, you will have the bunk beds, and directly next to the bunk beds, there will be the ensuite, the bathroom and the shower. Whereas this one, we've got 2 sets of bunk beds right next to each other, and then at the back of the van, we've got our ensuite. So I guess you do kind of need to walk through the kids' bunk beds there, open that door and everything, but this is a really interesting idea of craftsmanship. Putting your towel rail and your toilet paper roll on the actual door, so it just slides. That's really clever. That's really maximizing your space.
I guess there's nowhere else to put it.
Yeah, but I mean, how clever is that? Just hang it right up there. I've not seen that before. I don't know about you, Jason.
Yeah. Yeah, well, literally, there is nowhere else for it to go. So that's making use of what you got.
Well, some caravans actually put it up here above the sink.
Yeah.
So it is just interesting craftsmanship. We've got our bathroom open hatch here with a standard inclusive fly screen. This is that security type mesh again. It's not the soft material, so I guess it's maybe a bit more durable. And then we've got the fan, and we've got the LED light. Make sure no moisture gets in here and it doesn't get any mold or anything. We've got our window. Get the smell out after someone's been in the dunny. If you're traveling with a South African, it can get a bit filthy. We've got our toilet.
Now, one thing I haven't seen before is
the
that
what?
so close. Do you reckon I've got reasonably broad shoulders?
Well, let's have a look.
Can you
you're
actually
pretty big.
fit in there? Yours is 7'4".
Yeah, look, if I want to lean back, I
Right.
probably can't. I can't sit on the toilet with the door open. I don't think anyone would want me to be on the toilet with the door open in the first place. But yeah, it is. It is a bit. But I mean, realistically, you can be. I don't know if I'm planning on sitting on the dunny for an hour.
So if you're like a bodybuilder,
Yeah, you might.
super large,
You
dude,
might struggle a little bit to sit on the dunny. And on top of this, this is a front load washing machine. It is a bit different. A lot of vans use a top load.
Can you open that door and we'll get a look at how
Sure.
big it actually is in there?
How do we open the door? That's the question.
Do not break it.
I seem to be breaking things today, really.
There's probably a...
There we go. Just needed to give it a bit of a...
Right,
It's
so
not that big.
you can probably do a pair of Tristan's undies
Yeah.
and socks in there.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Not too much. And then we got some more storage space.
That's a big storage.
Yeah, it is. It's fairly generous. Have a look at this quickly. So I was just fiddling around here. This is really nice. So we've got our door. Instead of you having to struggle with trying to line up this thing with a hinge, there's just a rubber stop there at the bottom. So you just push your foot on that and that's it, locked. What a beautiful sink though. Okay, we got more storage space up here. Literally the same clips and everything we've shown you throughout the entire van.
I have seen a light. My wife would be happy with that light.
Would she?
Press it.
She would like that? Yeah, it is nice. You can do all your makeup and stuff. And yeah, it is a bit weird now that you can see the back of the clips actually through the mirror.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like that.
Guess it has to go somewhere. Like
Yeah,
if you want
but-
that fresh look
Yeah.
at the front.
I guess though, if this was to be absolutely flush, you could just have one of these mechanisms here and then you wouldn't see the bottom and the back of it, but who cares? I mean, anyway, we got our mirror over here, light switches,
it's not a
everything.
cabinet, it's just a mirror.
Just plain mirror. Look at all these drawers though. I'm going to do it 2x2 because I don't want to be here all freaking day long. Camera lies to you. Let's take a look at the shower though. Pretty big, pretty spacey, interesting, kind of different shape.
It's a decent size.
It is. It's quite nice. Look how all the water will just collect here really easily and just drain. That's an interesting design. We've got our hatch. Open that up, get a bit of airflow.
And it has a light as well in the hatch, which is good.
You know, this hatch has been in every caravan we've seen so far, so I can't really give you any form of exciting commentary on this other than the fact that this is that secure type mesh. But we do have a different shaped shower head and kind of layout of this. This looks a little bit more modern compared to the other ones we've seen. Nice thing about this is you can really just put it in all the places it needs to go, including the back of your ankle when you've ripped off the skin. Jason, what do you reckon? Can we both fit in here?
Let's try.
Yeah, actually, this
Yeah.
is a bit more space than the other ones.
Yeah, you're definitely not invading my private parts with...
Like when we rolled on the bed. Is there anything for you to knock your ankle in? No, it's completely
pretty
ankle
safe.
proof.
Well, there is a little knob there for...
Okay, so
you can lock it
from the inside. Wow.
Okay, so if
Very
you're trying to have a really long shower and you don't
Yeah.
want to be interrupted, that's cool.
This is also cool though how you can put two different things there. You can put your bar of soap and your shampoo. Yeah, that's a little bit different really.
Or a beer
A beer and
breakfast. How wide is the door? 61. Door height here, 1.73 meters. Ceiling height is 1.99. Let's get the width. Okay, here. Width of the caravan is 2.3. 1.94. That's a longer bed than usual. The width of the bed is 1.55. Height from bed to here is 89 centimeters. Top of the seat to the top of the cupboard. That's 1.5 meters. That's not bad. I don't think you're gonna smash your head on that. The length of the seat is 1.68 meters. Bench area, 1.57. Okay, 1.31 meters. There. Okay, let's get the hallway before we go down it. 4.13 meters. Doorway width, Yeah, we'll go from here. 58 centimeters, so a little bit narrower than the main doors. Okay, width between the beds, 74 centimeters. Width of the beds, 75 centimeters. Height from the bed to the ceiling, 73 centimeters.
What is the length of the bed?
1.83. So that's exactly your height.
Perfect.
So you can get in here and lay exactly flat and you'll be good.
Perfect.
Okay, this is something that I really wanted to measure before.
The elasticated.
Okay, now take a measurement. It's 57 centimeters. So for me sitting here, that, like, I actually have to sit a little bit lopsided. That is getting in the way of a comfortable. The width of the basin ensuite area, 89 centimeters, 76 centimeters. And assuming the door was closed, we will use the door. So you got 89 centimeters by 70. Shower going in, 89 centimeters depth. Go width, 73 centimeters. Okay, I think that wraps up our measurement phase of the review. Let us know what you think about it. What else should we be measuring? I've crawled under the TrackVan bi-millennium to have a look at the underneath of the Caravan, the chassis, all of the hardware, the suspension, the shockies. It looks quite clean. It looks very clean. We've been driving on some dirty, dusty roads, and it's not too bad under here. I mean, I'm sure if you're really on a dirt track in the outback, it would get filthy, but at the moment it looks really clean. Some of the wiring here, I'm noticing it doesn't have a protective conduit around it. That is a little bit of a concern for me. I'd prefer to see that with the conduit around it. It's just cable tied on there, which is fine. The chassis itself, all of the framework under here, has a grey, like a powder coated paint on it. I'm not sure if it's galvanized steel or what the steel is, but it looks like a decent paint job, and hopefully that is, you know, good enough to prevent corrosion. But you might want to just keep it clean under here if you have been to any of those beach camping sites. There's 4 drum brakes. There are these bump stops in the suspension here, like a urethane material. Up the front there, you can see just that thing there with the metal sheet wrapped around it. That is a water tank. And here's another water tank just above me here. That also has a galvanized sheet material bent around it. It's super thin though. So I guess this is just to help if there's sticks or small rocks or whatever, but if you're going over a massive boulder, that's not going to do anything. You can see here that actually looks a little bit bent there. So this material is thin. I could probably bend that with my hand. It's just to give a little bit of additional protection and hold the water tanks in place. It's not like a thick bash guard. So if you are going extremely off-road with your Caravan, you could consider upgrading that, especially the grey water one. You can see it's sitting a little bit lower and it's at the back of the Caravan there, so you might want to upgrade that. Looks like the floor is glued onto the frame. Those frame sections are welded to these cross sections. Nothing else really to point out under here. It looks neat and tidy. The welding looks strong. Not sure why that didn't get welded there. Seems like they've only welded one side of this plate instead of both sides, so Not 100% sure why that is done that way, but it does look like good, strong welding, so no major concerns there.
So I was just about to say, like, I can't fit in this space, but then I just moved this table. Now I'm in, gonna lock myself up. Jason, come jump in. Let's tell the travelers what we think of this van.
Righty.
What are your thoughts?
Okay, firstly, the floor plan on this thing is a little bit different. It's a little bit innovative. I haven't really seen a lot of caravans that have 4 bunks like that, and the space is actually really still quite good. The storage, you're not really losing anything, except maybe you don't like the way that the main bed is positioned, but still, not that bad.
Yeah, other than the bed positioning, which quite a few people actually do mention, but like it's not an issue for me. I'm someone with like my bedroom in my room, I actually like to put my bed up against the wall. I don't know what it is, it's a comfort thing for me, so it doesn't faze me at all. The one thing that is a bit of a kind of killer for me is just the fact that you can't open the window and the door at the same time. That's a little bit of an inconvenience, I think. It won't stop me from buying the van though. And then just the height of the doorbell, I mean, you can duck. So none of those are actually things that put me off buying this van. I can't say there's anything that I dislike about the van. There are things that I like about other vans, like the electric awnings and the electric step outs.
You could put that on here though.
You can always upgrade it to that. So this van, out of all the layouts we've seen, and you know what, I don't want to be entirely biased, and I don't want to kind of lose credibility by saying this is my favorite van so far for every van we see. So I try and refrain from seeing that, because then, you know, if every van's your favorite, then how do you really compare? But I do want to say, the 4 bunk beds for me is awesome, because I love to travel. Yeah, I love to travel with families. I love to travel with friends. I don't like to just travel with just 2 people. I like to travel in a big group. So the more, the merrier. Having 4 bunk beds is perfect for that. The space is great. The toilet and the washing machine right next to each other might be an inconvenience, but to be honest with you, I don't want to clean out anyone's business. So that toilet for me is pretty much going to be off limits. It's just there for the appearance. Everyone's going to the amenities if I own this van.
Right.
I'm not cleaning out anyone's business.
I can tell you I have emptied a toilet before, unlike Tristan.
I will never do it. I've got the weakest stomach. I have the weakest stomach. You
can't see the gear though. It goes in that thing. You can't see it. So
maybe that's
look,
what it is.
we may have forgot to mention there is an air conditioning unit up there.
We did. But
Let's film that quickly.
Yeah, and I was 4.
There we go.
Cool.
Everyone, it has a Dometic. Dometic's a good brand as well. Like that's
reckon?
that's a good brand.
I've never heard of it.
Yeah, no, they're well known. I haven't got a problem with that. Air conditioner. We're off grid. We're not plugged into the power, folks. We can't switch it on and use it. And honestly, it's a little bit hot today, but the breeze is nice. These windows are working. There's 3 hatches in this thing. Like, the breeze and the light, the natural light, is all good.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
The floor plan is good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you actually did have 4 children or mates and 2 people in the main bed, and that's 6 people, and it was raining and you had to stay inside the caravan,
yeah, it's a good space.
Yeah, like you could probably sit around using the bed and using this lounge. Like, just shove across a little bit. So probably like 2 smaller people could fit on here, and then 2 or maybe 3 here and 3 there. You could sit around in here if it was really bad weather, and you could have a good chat, a few drinks, a nice meal, play a game of cards, and have a good weekend. So no complaints by me. The fixtures and fittings and everything looks pretty well done. I mean, you know, there's no major complaints from me.
Yeah, and you know, I will comment on how you were saying there's a great breeze in here, because there really is. I mean, we've been up and moving all day long. We've been filming under caravans, towing caravans, setting up campsite all over the place. And right now in this van, There's such a great breeze, and it is warm today. It is humid.
Yeah.
But I'm not sweating. Feel my forehead. There's not a single
I'll
sweat.
just take your word for it.
There's not a single sweat droplet on my forehead.
Lick my face. I tell you, it's not that sweaty. Just lick it. You'll know.
Don't tempt me. If we travel on the
It's
road a
salty.
little while longer.
I will mention this though. One thing that got my heart
towing.
racing, right? So
Yes,
we just
yeah.
hitch up, start heading down the Bruce Highway, and we're accelerating up to about 110 kilometers an hour and start going down a decline down this hill, and I could feel the back end of the car start going side to side, and it was a bit scary. And I took my foot off the accelerator gently, so I backed off, and it settled down. The rest of the trip, I kept it under 100 Ks. Like, I kept it around 90, 95.
Yeah.
Didn't have another problem. But at 110, or at least accelerating to 110 whilst on a decline, it started wobbling. Don't know what was going on there, but I've seen way too many caravans flipping lately.
It happened to a good friend of ours.
So
it
be
does
careful,
happen,
hey?
yeah. And it was really wet weather conditions today.
It was wet,
raining.
yeah.
The motorway was wet. It could have ended badly. So this video could have turned out very differently if Jason didn't regain control. So that is a good piece of feedback.
Yeah, and it would have definitely been Tristan's fault.
Yeah, naturally. Me in the passenger seat, busy filming it.
Okay, folks, that's
See you,
it.
travellers.
See you later.
Ink actually popped up.
Who put that there? Okay, you've just discovered if you do not like skin on your ankle, you should come in here with another man and try to have a dance party. Then you will definitely remove that annoying skin that you've always wanted to remove from your ankle. It's useless skin.
You don't need it. It's just wiggles in the body.
It's like a foreskin. On the outside of your leg. You just get rid of it. Preferably in childbirth. But if not, adulthood, you can just get one of these caravans.
You can't surgically
and just
remove
fucking
it.
come in for a dance party. We'll sort you out.
Okay. Are you ready? You've literally made me cry.